It is the Everton Women's Show. I am joined by Kira Knox to go over all the latest news from Everton women's team and the world of Everton women's and general women's football and everything that's around it. And it's been, since we last talked, Kira, it's been a bit of a disappointing month, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Everton have failed to score in their last 4 games, including getting knocked out in the FA Cup, a home game against Aston Villa, and an away game against Leicester just the weekend just gone, where Everton would have looked and thought they should have won the game, really, with Leicester being where they are in the league.
Yeah, plenty of games where I was convinced we would have got 3 points from. Obviously, Villa were very close behind us and have now extended the gap on us. They're in 5th place and we're in 6th. The Leicester game, obviously with them being at the bottom of the table, I was expecting a few more goals. The 3 points, really. But a point on the road's massive, anyway, because I think our home record's a lot better than our away record. The Man United game was just great, because obviously the 3-0 defeat at home.
Yeah.
So to get that point from there was just incredible.
Yeah, it's a weird one though, isn't it? Because, like you said, the 2 away games, Manchester United away getting 0-0, because we spoke earlier in other videos, Everton have been consistently beating the teams around them, but when it comes to the top sides, and you know, Manchester United are in 2nd place. Everton have been short, losing 2-3-0 against the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City. Can't really bridge that gap. So to go and get a 0-0 draw was a huge point. You know, they were lucky sometimes. It's always good to have that luck. But they got it. They rode it out. And then this weekend they go to Leicester, who were bottom of the table, and to get a 0-0. I know it's always good to get a point on the road, but there's some games where you think, oh, I wish we should have won that, really.
Yeah.
So bit of a contrast in those 2 away results.
Yeah, I think Courtney Brosnan was our saving grace in both games. With Emily Ramsey being out injured, she got injured during the international break with her first senior call up for the Lionesses, so she never got to play. But yeah, in the United game especially, Courtney Brosnan, the amount of saves she made, and they were good saves as well, to keep us in that game. And as well, we had many shots on target in the Leicester game, just obviously couldn't convert them into goals. The goalkeeper's on loan from Bayern Munich, Leipzig, so she's incredible, and she's been a really good signing for them. And yeah, Courtney made saves in that game to keep us in that game and to keep it 0-0. And I think that was her 4th consecutive away clean sheet as well.
Yeah, Everton had 61% of the possession in that, and on although only 2 shots on target, and obviously disappointing early on in the month, went out in the cup against Birmingham home, a 2nd division team, which just this season I thought, you know, the league they're going to finish around 5th or 6th in the league.
Yeah. The
cup was probably the best chance of, obviously, their only chance of silver. They go out to Birmingham, a 1-0 defeat. Goals do seem to be a problem at the moment, don't they? You've mentioned the other end. Obviously, the goalkeeping situation's funny because they've had to bring in an emergency loan from is it a goalkeeper from Liverpool?
Yeah, Eartha Cummins. She's coming on a 2-week emergency loan, so she might have gone back by now.
Yeah. But that whole scenario's funny, isn't it? But at the other end of the pitch, it's been the goals that have been the problem, haven't they? And as I mentioned, there no goals in the last 4. But this is something that you mentioned, I think, back in, it might have been in December when we did a video when we were talking about the transfer window, and we were saying what you thought Everton needed, and they do genuinely lack just a real centre forward, someone you can really rely on to put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, Tony Duggan is, I mean, she's not injured. She's pregnant. I mean, you know, that's just one of those things, isn't it? She's pregnant, so that Everton have lost. Other players have gone out the door who could put the ball in the back of the net, and they just don't have that consistent centre forward, that number 9 they can rely on.
No, they don't at the moment. We've got Katja Soy. She's a Dutch international. Obviously, it's her first time in the WSL, so she's still growing into that position, and she's gaining more and more confidence within each game, each week, and it's great to see, but she's still not getting that consistent amount of goals that we'd like to see. Hannah Benison's been out injured for a while, so she's really helped with goal contributions as well last season and the beginning of this season. So to lose her was massive. Jess Park hasn't scored.
Yeah,
lately.
she's now listen, she's a young kid. She's on loan for Man City. She's done brilliantly. Again, she went to with England, and I don't know, maybe it's because she's playing a lot of, you see this in all levels of football. Maybe it's because she's played a lot of games this season. Maybe now she's starting to feel it. She's gone to England last time out, I think, as well, and maybe she's starting to feel it in her legs a little bit now. It's maybe getting, and maybe you're not seeing the best of her now. But obviously, when Everton played Aston Villa, got beat 2-0 at home. Kenza Darley scored. Now, Everton are dying for a centre forward. They're looking, every Everton team will need a centre forward, but Darley scored after 5 minutes, and again, that stings, doesn't it? Because this is a player obviously Everton had and let go. And even when she was at Everton, I don't think she was ever used correctly or consistently.
No.
She'd come with a huge reputation, and it never quite happened for her. She's got to move to Villa, and to see her score against us, that must have stung.
Yeah, it did a bit, I'm not going to lie. And the celebration as well, I was like, can you calm down? But that did hurt a bit. Obviously, we had so many different managers last season that she never got played in the right position. She's a French international. She was an incredible player. So she's being played in the right position now at Villa, and you can see it, she's flying. Again, with what you mentioned before with Jess Park and I think Aggie Beaver-Jones as well, it's not that they're not getting towards goal, because they are. They've just been really unlucky with the chances. They're both two really incredible players that we've got on loan, and hopefully in training and stuff that'll help, and we will get more goals this season.
Yeah, it's listen, it's not the end of the world. It's only one defeat in the last 5 in the WSL. After a couple of really good back-to-back wins against West Ham and Reading at home. So obviously the Villa game was one of those games. It's disappointing because it is a team around that you need to win those games. It's a bit of a 6 points in the middle of the table. Everton, as I said earlier, have been consistently beating those teams. So it's disappointing. But as you mentioned there, Hannah Bennison's been out for a while. She came back at the weekend, and she's another one, isn't she, where I think this season she was obviously signed last season. I think she was one of the many players that come in at the beginning of last season. There was a whole raft of players that...
A whole new team.
Yeah, it was basically a whole new team, and I think that's what was one of the major issues, wasn't it? Dropping a whole new team into the football club, and she come in, this was her breakout year, but again, she struggled maybe to find that consistency because she's not playing every week, but... how important could she be in that create? Because she is a creative player. She's number 10, and I think going forward she could be a major player for Everton. Yeah,
she could be massively important for us. Obviously, she's one of these up and coming stars that everyone's talking about, and to have that in our squad's a massive thing. I think. Obviously, she's been called up many times to the senior squad for Sweden. We saw her play in the Euros. I think she's going to be a really, really key part of our season once she obviously gets back fit and can play the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's hopefully she can now. As I said, I think when she came back at the weekend, I think that's the first time she's been involved in 2023. So let's hope now she finds some consistency. Certainly with our Everton's next game, obviously Friday night is the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Obviously early on in the season, Everton went to Anfield in front of 27,000, I think it was, at Anfield. Won comfortably 3-0. A huge moral boost and win for everybody, I think, not just the women's team, but everybody. Obviously, this weekend, the game, Friday night, it was originally supposed to be on the Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Been moved to the Friday night. It's going to be on TV. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this game because there's no men's football that weekend, so it's a great opportunity to get down to Goodison Park if you've not been before, or your kids have not been before, or whoever it is. Brilliant opportunity. Let's try and break that 27. Let's try and get 30,000 at Goodison on Friday night for Everton versus Liverpool. And it's a huge game. Number 1, it's a Merseyside derby. Number 2, Liverpool just beaten Spurs. They are 6 points behind in the league, so if they were to get a victory, that would put them 3 points behind. But forget all that. It's a Merseyside derby. It's at Goodison Park. The cameras are there. yes, there's probably a little bit of pressure on Everton to win because they've not won a game since the 22nd of January in the WSL. But this has got to be a win. I don't care. I don't care if it's the men's team, the women's team, the under-18s, under-21s, the Everton go-karting team. I don't care who it is. It's a Merseyside derby, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You've got to win it. It's at Goodison Park, the first ever derby to be a women's derby to be held at Goodison Park as well. So that's an even bigger thing. Obviously Liverpool have got those players. They were only promoted this season to the WSL from the Championship. They've got the players in there that could cause a threat to our goal, but we've got the players that can stop them, and we can cause a threat to their goal. So I don't see us not winning, to be honest.
Oh my God, I've never ever heard those words on this channel before. I don't think I've ever heard those words ever before. But Liverpool obviously will be will love the spotlight, I imagine, as well. But so the one name I keep on hearing all the time is Missy Bo Kearns, is it?
Yeah.
She seems to be the superstar of this Liverpool team. I think she's a local girl as well, big red. She got the winning goal against Spurs at the weekend. So how big of a player is she, and how important is it to stop her?
She's been really important, I think, in Liverpool season from what I've seen. She's very, very skillful player, very quick. She could really cause a threat to our goal, but again, as I said before, we've got defenders like Megan Finnegan, Rika Savek, Gabby George, Lucy Hope. No problem. I'm hyping this up. I need them to win.
Oh my God!
I need them to win.
You've just. Yeah. As I said, these words have never been said before. She's got 3 goals in 14 appearances in the WSL this season, but she's a very important player for them. And again, it's because because she's a big red, this game will mean a huge amount for her. But we've got big Evertonians in the team, so it is a huge game. And obviously, if you can get down to Goodison Friday night, there's no other footy on, so there's no excuse. Get down. If you've not taken your daughter or your son or your wife or your girlfriend or your husband or whoever, get down to Goodison Park and cheer the Everton women on, because this is a big game. And as I said, these are the games you've got to win as well, isn't it? Not just because it's a Merseyside derby, because if they win, they're 3 points behind, and it's another challenger for that spot. And Everton have got some decent games coming up. But then it gets a little bit tricky. Then they've got the Arsenals and the Chelseas again, and Everton I think Everton have got to make a statement, because it has been a month or so since they won a game. But it's going to be interesting, because it is all going to be about goals again. Everton have got to find a way, but there shouldn't be any bigger inspiration than playing at Goodison Park, very much like it was at Anfield. The inspiration should come from the crowd. And hopefully, if people have been having poor performances in the last few months or so, playing at Goodison on a Friday night, that should be the thing that inspires them.
It's a massive game. It's on Sky Sports as well. I am manifesting this win, by the way, so I'm going to keep talking positive about it. But it's going to be huge. And if that doesn't give them the push that they need to score goals, being at Goodison in front of, hopefully, thousands and thousands of fans, then I don't know what will. Yeah,
it should be a good occasion. As I said, Liverpool currently in 8th place, and have done quite well for a promoted team, to be honest. I mean, they are 7 points clear of Leicester, who are currently bottom of the table, and as I said, coming off the back against a good win against Spurs, who have been in dreadful form and have sacked their manager after that game. So it could be a huge occasion, and Everton have got, obviously, Villa have made that gap now 6 points, and Everton have got to try and claw that back, because I think that 5th place is what Everton should be really will be aiming for this season. Obviously, the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, they're getting away from them, but these are the games, I think, like we spoke about, that Everton must win. But it's a big occasion, not only because it's a Merseyside derby, but it's a big occasion as well for Her Game too. If anyone is not aware of Her Game 2, it is an organisation being set up to promote women within the game. Let's just have a look at a recent trip to Finch Farm for a lucky bunch of school kids who got to meet the new Everton advocates.
Today we're here at Finch Farm. As you can see, there's some kids in the background from one of our school supporters club. We're hosting an event with Her Game 2 for International Women's Day. There's going to be a few surprises along the way, so let's check it out.
'Too many skills, but I will join in for sure. Oh, nice there.
Well, with the coaching coming to a close now, it's nearly time for our kids to put their questions to our players. Let's see what they ask.
I think one of my biggest inspirations was Lindy Johnson. She used to play for Everton and was captain when I first come here. She taught me a lot in terms of everything off the pitch but also on the pitch, which helped me get to where I am today, so yeah.
Say my mum. You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, when they meet me, how mannerly and how respectful I am, and I think a lot of that comes down to being taught from an early age from my mother. Good manners and respect goes a long way, and I still live by that today, so my mum as well.
I picked Natasha Jones because she came to our school and explained to us when she was younger she didn't do well, but now she's a famous boxer.
Oh, very good, yeah. Very good boxer as well.
Thank you guys so much.
Well done, thank you.
How do you feel about being a Her Game 2 ambassador?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for us. I think showing where the women's game can go and pushing it, and we're here today with you guys to show that women can play football too, but not just about playing it, it's about people being able to watch it and making it more accessible for girls in every single sport, not just football. And I think it's a great opportunity for me to be an ambassador because it's something that I truly believe in.
Seamus Coleman, what a fantastic event we've seen here today. Everton supporting Her Game 2 and yourself and Gabby becoming the first ever player advocates. What's been going on today? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think with me having two daughters as well, when it was put to me, I was more than happy to put my name forward. I think women have a massive place in football, not just playing but watching, commentating, TV pundits, whatever the case may be. And you know, I want my daughters to have you know, the same opportunities as well. So delighted to be part of it. Delighted to be part of it with Gabby as well. And listen, we had a great day down here with the kids as well.
I think having women footballers out there on the likes of Sky and BBC now is a great stage for it, really. I think little girls growing up will be able to see us and want to be like us, whereas when I was growing up it was quite minimal. There was only a few players that you did know about, but now I think there's lots of different teams, there's lots of different players, and I think it's just going in a great place.
I'm so proud of Everton. I'm just delighted that Seamus and Gabby have said that they'll be advocates for us. It's just absolutely amazing. I knew Everton were the first Premier League club to be partner with Her Game 2, and I felt by having player advocates, I thought they could say so much more than I could. Obviously players are role models to male and female supporters, and I just thought someone like Seamus, people look up to him, grown-up men, you know, children, and I just thought it'd be amazing. And having someone like Gabby is really, it's just cool. I'm lost for words, really. It's just amazing.
Football should be a place for everybody, of course. We all love it, we all love the game. It's all about equality, and I do think that we're taking, you know, good steps in the right direction, you know, with all the things that we're doing in the Premier League for equality. And yeah, listen, onwards and upwards for sure.
There you go. Seamus Coleman and Gabby George are the new Everton advocates. Yeah, that was my wife on the video. No, it's a big occasion for her game too, isn't it? Because they're going to be getting lots of promotion around this game. We've seen them recently in the Premier League games as well, getting some of the shirts being worn and things going around. Just more and more awareness of her game too. So how important is something like her game to you? So someone who goes to the men's game and the women's game.
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, to raise that awareness, to have that community as well, where we can all support each other. We've all can share different experiences that we've had. It's just huge. And then to see, obviously, Seamus Coleman for the men's team, a player that's been there for so long, to obviously sign up to be an official advocate for her game too is huge. And then to have Gabby George, another player that's been at Everton for forever. It's just been amazing to see over this past few weeks.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I know it's been really, really busy in my house because of it, but it is a huge thing, and it is important that, you know, women of all ages go the game, feel comfortable going the game, feel like they're being represented at different levels, and that's all it is, isn't it? It's not, you know, you hear people out there, you know, making certain statements and things like, you know, it's just about people. It's about, like, anyone just wanting to go the game and feeling comfortable, isn't it? And, you know,
it's all about normalising it.
That's it, isn't it?
Issue.
It's not about like going, we're special, we're more important than you. It's just saying we're just as special as everybody else.
You just want to be here for the game.
Yeah. So if you're not fully aware of everything her game 2 does, and want to find out more, then you get on their Twitter account at Her Game 2, and look at the stuff they're doing. They've got ambassadors at clubs everywhere. Everton were the first Premier League team to make it an official thing, and are doing lots for them. So fair play for Everton for doing that. They're doing lots, and as you've seen there, getting Seamus Coleman involved, getting Gabby George involved, is huge. It's a huge step. As Kira said there, just to normalise women of all ages just going the match and feeling comfortable in the match. And if there's anything you want to do, or any more information, or if you want to help them out, get in touch. And it is great to see more and more clubs getting involved. I've seen the Forest Green one. I know Dunk. I know Big Dunk went and saw the Forest Green ambassador as well, and has give his support as well as the vegan croissants, of course. He's give his support, and clubs, more and more clubs, and it, just to get it to the point where it's normalised at men's games, at women's games, at every game. So, and we know it's got support everywhere. So well done to everyone involved on that one. So, Kira, I'll be there next week. I'll come and find you. At Goodison, and hopefully it's 3 points. Hopefully we get the victory, and we can come back next week, and we can do a nice, happy show on the Merseyside derby. So there you go. If you want to go to the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park on Friday night, then get yourself a ticket and get down there. As I said, big thanks to Kira. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.